Hello, hello, welcome everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We welcome all of you from anywhere where you are connected to this streaming today. This is the Boston Healthcare User Group, and we are very honored to have you today. My name is Diana Lison, and I'm gonna be the host with you today. We are so excited because we have 1 week more with a special guest. But let me first introduce our community real quick. So, for all of you that are new in our user group meetings, we are a community based in Boston, and we have bi-monthly meetings. This at this time at noon Eastern time usually. So we have a hybrid model, streaming the meetings, and soon going to in person back in Boston. So keep in touch for that. We're so excited. So we serve the community global. We have a big group of speakers and influential leaders in the community. So we also talk about different topics in healthcare for improving the patient, the provider experience, member experience, and others. And so we are sponsored by Real Activity. So thanks for all the staff that support us as a community. And we also have our website that we invite you to visit. It's www.busshog.com. You can find all our content and social media networks in busshog.com. And also, we encourage you to join to the Discord server. This is a community that we have in Discord that it's really fun, and we can also be talking, having different conversations over there as you can download the content of each presentation. I want to say hi to my partner, Paul Swider from Boston. Hello, Paul. Okay, hold on 1 sec. Fixing some audio for a minute. Yeah, so, okay. So today, we are gonna talk about empowering patients and healthcare organizations through Azure AI Services. And we have Fotain Sevdo. She is a Microsoft Learn student ambassador from Greece. So she is an undergraduate electrical and computer engineering student at the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. I hope I pronounced that right. So she's in Greece, and she's a Gold Microsoft Student Ambassador, the biggest community of students from Microsoft. She is interested in machine learning, AI, IoT, and cloud technologies, as especially in applications of technology in healthcare and education. I like that too. always passionate about teaching and discovering new things. Fontaine helps people expand their technical skills through organizing workshops and writes articles on her blog and the Educator Developer blog from the Microsoft Tech community. So, with that introduction, I would love to change my screen here and
Yeah, I'm excited for this presentation. I've
hi.
seen a lot of your presentations online, and I know that you do a lot in the healthcare technology space. So it's a real pleasure to have you here with us today. And because the meeting's sort of short, we only have 30 minutes. I don't want to take too much time now. I'll let you start your presentation. But I did want to prepare you, like maybe if you could just save a couple of minutes in the end, because I'd like to just get your thoughts on any advice you might have for newer people or younger people that might be interested in getting into this space that we find ourselves in, the intersection of health and technology. So I would just love to get your thoughts on that. You might, maybe we can inspire some people that end up watching the video afterwards. And so with that said, thank you so much for being here. I'm excited for your presentation.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I want to say a big thank you to Diana and Paul for inviting me here today at the Boston Health community. And I have prepared a presentation for you, and I hope that will help you to improve your healthcare processes in your companies. So let me share my screen, and I will start. So today we are going to see the Azure AI platform and discuss some examples of use cases of the Azure AI services in the healthcare. So I'm Fotini. I'm an electrical and computer engineering student from Greece and a Gold Student Ambassador, which is a global group of student leaders that are involved in the local and global tech communities and help students and develop technical and career skills. You can reach out to me in LinkedIn and Twitter if you want to learn more. So, today we will explore the available services in the Azure AI platform, and I'll show you some examples of the use of AI in healthcare, both in business and in academia. Then we will see the Azure Health Bot, one Microsoft service that enables you to create intelligent health bots for your healthcare company. And I'll show you how to build a bot for COVID-19 and mental health screening. So let's start. What is AI? Artificial intelligence, or for short AI, is one of the most popular technologies in the last decade. Every day we use several apps that incorporate AI. For example, we can use a smartwatch that measures our pulse rate and detects abnormal heart activity. Or the smartwatch can measure EEG signals and estimate uh, our emotional state. So, to better understand how AI works, let's think about how we as humans process information. We take input from the world, like data, images, and information. We process that input through our brain, and then we respond to that input. For example, we take our hands off a hot stove. With artificial intelligence, it's much the same. We feed our computer data, which can be images, videos, documents, or other sources of information. Then the computer processes and analyzes this data through the model that we have built and responds with an answer. Artificial intelligence is often confused with machine learning and deep learning. AI is a broader term that includes every technique that enables computers to mimic human behavior. For example, we can build a bot that helps user make an appointment with a doctor or answers questions about a disease or drugs. Machine learning is a subfield of AI that uses technique to train machines based on data. For example, we can build machine learning models that detects a disease based on the health records of a patient. And deep learning is a subset of machine learning that use artificial neural networks with computing systems that are inspired from the biological neural networks. The Azure AI platform offers AI services that help you build and deploy your own AI solutions using high quality models. The AI services are designed for both developers and data scientists, and you can easily access them through a web based API call. Or if you are an experienced developer, you can build your machine learning models in the cloud using popular frameworks like TensorFlow and PyTorch. The Azure AI services are grouped in three categories: the Azure Applied AI Services, the Azure Cognitive Services, and the Azure Machine Learning. The Azure Applied AI Services are cloud services that offer AI model for common tasks like mining knowledge from documents, monitoring metrics anomalies, creating conversational experience, analyzing video, understanding documents, or extracting insights from any source of content. For example, you can use the Azure Phone Recognizer to automate information extraction from clinical notes and medical documents, or you can use the Azure Bot service to build a bot that helps patients make an appointment with a healthcare provider. The Azure Cognitive Services is a collection of AI models that enable you to embed the ability to see, hear, speak, uh, understand, and search into your company's app. The Azure Cognitive Services are designed for both developers and data scientists of all skill levels, and are available through a web-based API call or through containers. For example, with the Azure Cognitive Services for Vision, you can build you can identify and analyze content in images and videos. For example, you can use the Azure Custom Vision service to build advanced object detection and image recognition models. And you can then export these models in one of the available formats to run offline into your company's mobile app or into an edge device or an IoT device. With the Azure Cognitive Services for speech and language, you can build apps that are voice enabled or they can understand text, voice, or other source of structured information. I think that the most important part of the Azure Cognitive Services is that you can use these services using Docker containers and apply and embed AI capabilities into edge devices to build, for example, intelligent wearable health monitoring systems, like the smartwatch we talked previously. Now, this is our first use case, text analytics for health. Text analytics for health is an Azure Cognitive Services uh, under the language category. Text Analytics for Health is a collection of machine learning and AI algorithms in the cloud for developing intelligent applications that then extract uh, medical information from documents such as doctor's notes, clinical documents, or electronic health records. The Text Analytics for Health service can perform name entity recognition, relation extraction, entity linking, and assertion detection. In this picture, you can see an example of name entity recognition. Name entity recognition detects words and phrases in the text and associates these phrases with some predefined semantic types. Uh, some example of these types is the diagnosis, medication name, treatment name, body structure, or age, frequencies, dates, measurement units, and more. You can find a complete list of the available semantic types on the Microsoft Docs website. Like the other cognitive services, you can use the text analytics for health through a web-based API call, or you can use the text analytics for health in Docker container to host the text analytics API in your own infrastructure. Now, the Azure Machine Learning is a platform for operating machine learning workloads in the cloud. It includes a wide range of features and capabilities that enable you to prepare data, to train model, and to publish and manage predictive services. To build the models, you can use Jupyter notebooks and your preferred machine learning frameworks, or you can use automated machine learning or the designer, which is a drag and drop development interface. In this picture, you can see the Azure Machine Learning Designer and its visual interface. To build a training pipeline, you can use the blocks on the left, and this module performs several tasks such as data preparation and cleaning, data preprocessing, machine learning model training, scoring, and evaluation. For example, this is a training pipeline for a machine learning model that detects the risk of chronic kidney disease. Now, let's explore one more Microsoft service, which is the Azure Health Bot. What is a bot? Bot allows customers to interact with different systems and computer applications using speech or text. This can be a simple conversation or might be a more complicated one where different systems and applications are integrated to deliver the desired result. The Azure Health Bot service enables healthcare organizations to build AI-powered conversation experiences for health. The HealthBot service is different from the other HealthBot framework that we saw in the Applied AI services because it provides a built-in medical intelligence and enables you to create bots using either the built-in scenarios or by creating a custom scenario to support your organization clinical use cases. So, what can you do with a bot? You can create a bot to provide a user with information about health plans, like pricing and benefits. Or you can build a bot that allows customers to find nearby doctors or search for doctors by specialty. And or a bot that allows customers to book appointments with a nearby healthcare provider. The Azure HealthBot can be used by several types of healthcare companies. For example, insurance companies can build HealthBot instances that give their customers an easy way to look up the status of a claim and ask questions about benefits and services. Healthcare providers can build a HealthBot to triage patient issues with a symptom checker and to help patients find healthcare providers and doctors, or to provide information about a disease. And pharmaceutical companies can use bots to provide their users with information about the side effects of a drug or information about vaccines and help them to book appointment uh, to take vaccines or book an appointment with a local pharmacy. For example, Primera Blue built a bot named Scoot that offer digital services such as checking healthcare claim status and eligibility and provides information about health plans. The report is available as an Android application and as an iOS application. On the right, you can see a preview of their conversational experience. So one key element of the Azure Health Bot is scenarios. Scenarios are conversational flows that are programmed into the bot. When a scenario is triggered, the user uh, has to complete a series of questions and answer until the scenario is complete. In the Azure Health Bot, we can find two types of scenarios, the built-in scenarios and the custom scenarios. The built-in scenarios are available to all users, while the custom scenarios are the scenarios that each user, each developer is built on their own health box. Some example of built-in scenarios is the symptom checker, providing information about a disease, symptoms, and condition, or providing information about drugs and medication. In addition, healthcare organizations have a detailed configured control over the functionality of these scenarios and can they extend the functionality by offering new scenarios. I think it's better to show you live the Health Management portal and see some of the available scenarios. So this is the main management portal of the Azure Health Bot. On the left, you can see some of the available services that says scenarios, language models, configuration settings, and some other more advanced features. Language model is a very important part of the Azure Health Bot. I'm not going to show you much information about this service because it's more advanced and requires computer science experience to understand some concepts. But in general, language models um, interpret end-user messages and trigger the relevant scenarios. This way, for example, when I type into the bot, I have a headache, the bot understands that I write about a medical condition and the symptom, and it triggers the symptom checker scenario. Next, in the configuration tab, you can configure the functionality of all the available built-in commands and enable other features like the handoff to a live agent, require end-user consent, or configure an automatic welcome message which will display in the user when they enter the website for the first time. Now let's explore the built-in scenario through the demo website in the browser. The first scenario is the symptom checking. In this scenario, I have to describe a symptom in the bot, and then the bot triggers the scenario. For example, if I write I have a headache, the bot triggers the scenario and asks me some questions to gather information about myself and my symptoms. Let's answer some questions to see the scenario. Now the bot asks me to report other symptoms apart from headache. Let's say I'm feeling sick and chest pain. And now the bot will assess the symptoms and at the end of the scenario, it will suggest me some possible causes of my problem, or it will suggest me the next steps, like seeing a doctor or going to a nearby hospital for better care. Now, this scenario is very long. It took like 3 or 4 minutes to be complete. So I will use a built-in command to force the scenario to end and start a new scenario. To force the scenario to end, you can type cancel. And now we are ready for our next scenario, which is finding information about a disease. Let's say I want to find information about diabetes. So I type information about diabetes. And here you can see a summary about the disease and of course the source of the information. There are also some other ways to ask for information about diseases. For example, what are the symptoms of diabetes? Or resources for diabetes. In the same way, you can ask about information for a type or a brand of drugs. Let's say information about aspirin. And here you can find some links to external sources of information. Now, this is a brief summary of all the available built-in scenarios and their functionality. Let's explore some other built-in commands. We saw the cancel command, which is used to force the active scenario to an end. Some other helpful commands is the what do you know, which display to the user the information that the bot has learned about you. Or the forget me command, which deletes all the information that the bot has learned about you. You can also use the feedback command if you want to provide feedback to your bot. And here I have to say that a company can build their own feedback form if they want some more specific questions for the users. Let's say if it's very satisfied. And you can type terms to view the terms of service. And if you want to see all the available building commands, you can type help. And here, this is a list of the commands that the bot understands. And if you want to add a specific command for your own health bot instance or your own scenario, you can go to the configuration settings and simply add this command into the help summary. So I think this is a very fast introduction to the Azure Health Bot building scenarios and commands. I know that we don't have so much time to show you more details about these things, but I want to show you the template scenarios, which are custom scenarios that are available for all users. Most of these scenarios are built in collaboration with the CDC. And template scenarios offer scenarios for COVID-19 or for mental health quality of life assessment, for chronic disease management, and there are scenarios for some other popular healthcare use cases such as booking appointments or finding local providers. If you click on a scenario, you can see a description of their behavior and a short preview. During COVID-19, this was a very popular scenario, the COVID-19 triage template. which is based on the CDC triage protocols. To import this scenario in your HealthBot instance, you can click on Import Template, and you will be redirected to the Designer, which is the development portal of the Azure Health Bot, in which you build the custom scenario using uh, some building blocks of the top toolbar.
That's really great that they give you these templates to start the common scenarios.
So this is the scenario, and you can click on Run to test the scenario and complete all the questions and see what the bot what is the response of the bot based on your symptoms. Let's exit, and now I'll show you one custom scenario that I built for mental health screening. Uh, it's very easy to build your own scenarios. In fact, I don't have much experience with the help of when I build these scenarios. Uh, but you don't have to have a computer science background to build a custom scenario. There are many available blogs. Most of them does not require coding skills, advanced coding skills. So that's for our demo.
That's really great. And that's correct me if I'm wrong, but this is part of the value of using the bot service, right? Is that you have these built-in templates that you can quickly customize, and add your own scenarios as well. What are your thoughts?
Yes, actually, the scenario templates are very helpful, and all the time the research team behind the Azure Health Bot creates new scenarios that are available to all the users. The COVID-19 response template are developed during the first months of the COVID-19, and I know that are being used by many companies, including the CDC, which built a health bot that is available through their websites for COVID-19 trials.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's a very powerful feature and a great example of using machine learning in healthcare. I can't thank you enough for your time today. I know you're busy and you have a lot going on. And by the way, I didn't realize this until you did your introduction that you're from Thessaloniki in Greece, which I've actually been there. It's a beautiful city. I remember being there for business and meeting some really great folks from the local university and user groups and the business community. So it's great to see you remotely, if you will, and nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. So thank you again for being on. And then in closing, I would just like to ask one more question. And thank you for sharing these learning resources. And this might even be the answer to the question or part of it. But again, I'm just curious what advice you might have for new people interested in healthcare technology, or maybe even just not just young people, but maybe students as well. I noticed you're a student ambassador, so maybe not just new people, but students as well that might be interested in this. Do you have any advice or ideas on places they might start?
I think that healthcare and medical engineering and technologies related to healthcare are very powerful, and it's actually very difficult to start. I talk by my experience. You don't know if you should start from the technical skills or learn more about the biological concepts and the medical concepts. I am an engineering student, and I like the medical engineering research, and always I find myself asking questions about should I learn more things about AI? Should I learn more things about how the brain works or about biology? So I think that you should learn all of them, but the most important is to love what you're doing, to find your passion, and try always to improve yourself. Try to learn new things and to apply your skills to projects.
That's great advice, and I agree. I'll try not to speak too much because I realize there's an echo. I apologize for the sound issues. So again, thank you so much for being here with us today. You have an invitation to come back anytime that you want to show us something new with technology and health technology. So yes, thank you just so much. I can't thank you enough, and thank you, Diana, again for kicking us off. Cheers.
I want to thank you too for
Thank
inviting
you
me
so
to this
much.
Of course.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. And we'll see you on the next session in 2 weeks. Bye bye. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.